Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. As always, I appreciate you being here, your support, etc. Today I'm going to do a video that, quite frankly, I don't do too many of these videos because they are, in my opinion, not the greatest of content. That's a great way to open a video. This video is not very good, and you haven't even seen it yet. No, if you're subscribed to the channel and if you're interested in, if you're interested in knife making and bladesmithing, then you might find this useful, or you might have interest in this. And if you're interested in what's going on here at Fire Creek Forge, then you'll probably have interest in this as well. So about a week ago or so, I put up a post on the community section of the channel here stating that I was going to have some exciting news in the next couple of weeks, and that is not yet. That within the month, I think I'll be able to talk about that, or I'm going to talk about that. That's not this video, quite. This is what I'm going to talk about today does correlate with that, and you'll see once the entire picture is revealed, or at least the current frame, if you will. So I haven't put up a video for about 13 days as of this video, prior to this video, and that's because I've been making knives. As you probably know, I'm a professional bladesmith, and that's what I do. That's what this shop is. And when you're making knives, and that's what most of my time goes to in the shop here, I don't have as much time to do YouTube videos, put content up and things like that, or even focus on specific projects. And most of the knives that I've made are similar to this one. This is the one I call the Wilderness Bowie. It's just a good basic blade that will do a wide range of tasks for you. And this is a stock removal blade. I have, I think, 3 Nessmucks over there. I've got a couple other sort of modified Green River Buffalo Skinner looking knives. And then more I have to start. I have steel on the way for. And so when you're making hundreds and hundreds of knives, that takes a lot of time. I'm grateful for that because these have paid the bills for the last, for the most part, for the last 5 years, or however long it's been since I started selling knives. I forget exactly now. It's a little over that. I don't know. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is the essence. There's a mosquito in here. There's the essence of what I'm doing here at the Bladesmith shop at Fire Creek Forge. And the change that is going to be taking place here, the development. I'm excited about this because I've seen this on the horizon for some time, and I've been working towards that. And the timing, coupled with the timing of the other thing that I can't talk about yet, or I'm not going to talk about yet, I think this is good. So the change that's going to be happening is I am going to be focusing primarily, going forward, primarily on, let me back up. So in bladesmithing, in knife making, or any area of artistry, you'll understand this if you do any kind of craft, if you do anything that's artistic, even just very basic things. The idea of inspiration is huge. Obviously, each of us, when we go to work, whatever we do, whether it's something you really enjoy doing or something you don't enjoy doing, we have the motivation to pay the bills. We got to pay the bills. So that's a motivation. But beyond that, there's the motivation when it comes to a craft like this that I would call inspiration, and I think we draw inspiration from different things. For me, the bedrock inspiration in the beginning for building knives, for forging blades and making knives, was my interest and experience in what I called back then primitive wilderness living skills, and basically what a lot of people call bushcraft, or even still survival skills today, and the centrality of a good blade to those skills, learning and practicing those skills. And so that's how I first embarked on making knives, and that was the bedrock really that brought me to that interest. And that remains largely true today. And I know that as I'm making knives, whatever kind of knives I'm making, I focus on knives. I make knives that are made to be used. I think I've made one knife that wasn't made to be used. It was purely an art piece for a guy. Had a piece of antler and whatever, and it was neat, but it wasn't made to be used. But I think that's the only knife I've ever made that wasn't made to be used. And I imagine I have some knives that are not used very much, but they most certainly could be and are designed to be. And so that's where my inspiration originally came from, and still does in large part today. And I know that as I'm making knives, that inspiration is being infused, if you will, into the product that I'm making, the physical, tangible piece that I'm sending to people when they buy a knife. And that's important because what we're actually doing is selling a connection. We're actually selling something that conjures an emotional or mental connection that knife that they have in their hand makes possible, or it creates a link somehow to something that they fond memory experienced in their lives, or just an idea bigger than themselves. Like you think of the tradition of like the Northwoods explorers, the Hudson Bay area, for example, or maybe the gold rush in the Klondike, in Alaska, the trappers, the mountain men, all these different aspects, or the traditional Northern European, Scandinavian type woodcraft and skills that they honed over generations. There's all different aspects, or I could go on. There's all different cultures and peoples have different connections and traditions that mean a lot to a lot of people. And so in some small part, let's say, this blade that I'm providing for somebody serves to carry that along in a small way. And so that's important. So why am I telling you all this? Well, the reason is because what I want to do is take more time and focus and place it on putting the best version of my inspiration into the knives that I'm building. And the knives like these that I'm building, these are good knives. They hold that inspiration, they display that inspiration as well. But in this craft, and I think any other craft that you care about, you're always asking yourself, or you should be always asking yourself, how can I do that better? How can I raise the bar? How can I raise the bar? At the end of the day, a lot of you guys are going to, understand this. At the end of the day, quite frankly, I am never happy with any knife I make. And I want that to sound wrong, because as far as the quality, the fit and finish, and the product that I'm sending to the customer, I am happy with that. I wouldn't send it out the door if I wasn't. But in the sense that, I have not arrived. Like, I haven't made the last knife that I'm going to make. Like, if you get to the point where you've done it all, you have made the best knife that you can make, like, what do you, for me, it's like, okay, well, what now? That's what's so neat about this craft, is like the journey is ever onward. Like, you can make a million knives and there'd be another way to do something, a different way to do something that might be a little bit better in this aspect. It's just limitless. And so for me, that's what I mean by I'm never satisfied. You're always pushing to the next level and making the best thing that you can make. And so along the way, I want my customers, my clients to benefit from that, and I believe they do. And so it's a I want to do that the best I can. I want to provide that service the best I can. So what I'm saying is, I think the way moving forward that I'm excited about to do that is to pull my focus and energy towards fewer blades at this time, that are, you know, if you want to use the terminology, infused to the utmost with that inspiration. And so part of you know, artistry or craftsmanship, and a lot of you guys will understand this too, is like you get this idea, you get this inspiration, and a lot of times if you don't jump on that and just run with it when it's fresh, you let it sit too long and it either just kind of peters out, or it's sort of like that sweet spot if you don't jump on it right now. And some ideas you let sit for a long time, and then you come back around to them and you can kind of reclaim some of that freshness. But generally speaking, I think a lot of the really cool pieces that we turn out as artists or bladesmiths are ones that you get this new fresh bit of inspiration and you jump on it. And the opportunity to do that is a blessing, and I think that, you know, moving forward I want to have that opportunity more, so focusing on that kind of thing a little bit more too. So along with all of this is documenting these projects and bringing you guys more content and providing you with you know, inspiration or information or you know, even entertainment for what you're doing. So, because that's the other thing, that when you're making hundreds and hundreds of knives, you know, working on the YouTube channel is a little more difficult. And then of course, purely from a financial standpoint, because I don't do this for free, I can't, you know, I have bills to pay like we all do. You know, what I've seen so far on the channel here is promising, and I see where it can go and where I want it to go, and I realize that, you know, I have to put the time and energy into it for that to happen. You know, if you're on YouTube and you put videos up at all, you're probably familiar with the fact that the frequency of which you put videos up directly correlates to the exposure that your channel gets, unless you're special, and I'm not. So on YouTube, you know, so I need to, if we're gonna take this where it can go, then I have to put the time and energy into it, and I want to. So that, all of that to me is exciting, and you know, I'm still taking custom orders most of the time, and then, you know, you can actually still purchase most of the different models that I've made, hundreds of, you know, those models. You can still buy them on my website and also on a couple of the other online shops. I've just scaled that down, so it's not phased out completely at this point, but it is definitely to a point where we're doing a transition. We're doing a transition to this new focus, and so I'm excited about that. And like I said, the other part that I'm not going to talk about yet plays into this, not just with timing, but also with I can't really say yet, but you'll see. So anyway, yeah, I just want to share that with you guys, kind of have a little conversation with you and let you know what's happening, what's going through my mind. Kind of helps me sort of collect my thoughts a little bit and arrange how to move forward. And in the coming days and weeks and months, there's going to be some good content coming. So I'm excited about that, and the focus is going to be more towards, well, I already said all that. I already explained all of where the focus is going to be. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. As always, see you in the next video.